Hey, welcome to my journey, frugal journey. I don't know what today's going to be. I am headed down to the, let's start driving. I am headed down to the garden. We're not going to stay long because the heating index is supposed to be over 100. They said we reached 101 degrees temperature yesterday and broke a record. Who knew? I mean, I knew it was hot outside when I went out, but golly. Oh, I meant to try to go another way. David had to run to the dump and then come home and load up some stuff that we need for the garden. We've got to tie up a little higher for our pole limas. They're not climbing high, they're climbing the little feelers or vines are going out. They're not wanting to climb up the horizontal strings. But they're hitting those T-posts and, I mean, just twirling around them. So I told David, I said, if you got any of those were the 5 foots. That's what me and Holly had. That's what we put up. We didn't think they would need anything bigger. Apparently they do. I said, if you got any more of those 7 foot ones? He said, yeah, he's got a few. I said, well, bring them and the little thing, you know, that pounds them in the ground. I said, I got the string in the car. I said, I want to string it up higher, and I want to try. I meant to look it up before I left, but I may just wing it. I don't know how the strings go this way, but then they like make triangles whirling around in triangles, and then it gives them something to grab to as they go up. So I think I'm going to try that maybe. But he says he's going to quit about 11 o'clock because he says he's going to do what he can do today because tomorrow's supposed to fall off a little bit, not be as hot. And I've got to help him. We've got to put doors on the garage up there where we keep the tractor and Holly's lawnmower and all the things, the tiller. And the door broke. The one that he just has paid somebody to come out and fix just broke. He had to prop it up with a 2x4. And so we had to take everything out of it and bring it home except for the 8 end. We didn't have nowhere to put it. And he checked it and nobody's pilfered it. Knock on wood. And so we've got to put new doors on it. We're just going to put like barn doors, you know, just plywood, hinges, be done with it, because the shed part of it is falling down. It's just a temporary place to hold our stuff. We tarped the top because the roof's falling in. We're getting by as cheap as we can because we spent so much money on the tractor and the fence and the garden and all kind of stuff. We've spent tons of money this summer, and we're trying to, at places that we can, get out, you know, a little cheaper. So he's going to do that and then come down here. So I thought I would go ahead and leave while he's at the dump and maybe find a yard sale or two. I don't know. I know there was one in Pennington-Annapolis, and I meant to turn up that way to see if I could run into that and some others, because there's like neighborhoods back there. I see these same old ones every time I go down there, and when I hit the long stretch of road, there's nothing. It's just houses, but it's not anywhere they have yard sales because they're on like this main country road. It's a main country road, you know. So I'm just gonna, police! What's he doing? Just sitting there with his lights on. Where people got to pass him. I don't know what he's doing. But he's taking up road space, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so I'm going to turn down this road. I did find a yard sale on this road. Oh, maybe April? I don't know. It was an estate sale, and they had it the day before, and I know they would have had some good stuff. That's where I found some canning jars, because you know, I'll be buying a jar. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Update on David's wrist. We went to the surgeon yesterday. Now this is his second surgeon. The other one was with the other health outfit we were with, and then our insurance stopped taking them, so he had to come over to the one I'm at because I started making the switch already. So I was lucky to have been set up with my doctors that I need. But his wrist, he knows, has gotten worse, and the x-rays, there's no doubt that he's got to have surgery. The doctor told him, he said, you got one option. He said, surgery. The other option is he can get these shots and try to limp it along. The man said, if you want to try to get shots every 4 to 6 months, if that'll help, if that'll give you any relief, if it'll even help, he said, we can do that until you retire. Well, I'm thinking to myself, this man ain't going to retire till he's who knows how old, which I told him he needs to retire earlier. I know he'll go to at least full retirement age, regardless of his wrist. He's already, see what he has to do, the driving part, it's not bad because they have automatic trucks now. And he complained when he got those. Oh my gosh, because he loves to drive a truck. He likes the gear shift and the driving of the truck, and now he's just got automatic. He says it's just boring. Well, it's kind of a blessing in disguise now because he don't have to shift the gears and hold on to the steering wheel with his left hand, because it's his left hand, his left wrist. And so anyway, what was I saying about that? I was saying something about that. Oh, the parts that he has to do for his job is rolling up his landing gear, and he has to hold on to something while he does something else. It takes both hands to do it. And he says what he does now, he does with his fingers. He said he can use these fingers, that's it. Because the man measured it. He said, put your hands up. And he said, do your wrists. Both of them, like that, right? Well, the right one went down. This one went like this. That's as far as he can bend his wrist. Okay? Can you see that? He said, bend it back. That's as far back as he can bend his wrist. So he has no use of his wrist now. Well, and the pain is just excruciating. When this man complains about pain, he has pain because, listen, let me just tell you this. Okay, well, let me tell you the finishing of this story, and I'm going to tell you something else about his pain level. Oh, that's hot. This little cup, this is my, hold on. I got this at Marshall's, I don't know how many years ago. Witch's, can you see it? Witch's Brew. I thought I put enough half and half in it to cool it off. But gosh, whew, it'll still be hot when I get through working in the garden. It'll still be hot enough to drink. But the option of surgery is a plate. They will cut him from here to about here. They will go in. See, what it is, okay, what it is, he has, there's 2 bones right here in your wrist, 2 bones, one on each side. They're held together by a tendon. The tendon in between them broke. It broke. Those bones have separated. He showed us one of them. Now he's bone on bone. The other one is starting to be bone on bone. There's arthritis. He showed us all the way around. So much arthritis. So they'll cut him, like I said. They will clean out all the calcification, arthritis. They'll clean all that out. They'll do bone grafting, and they'll put in a plate. And I said, well, he said, we'll put, like, okay, here's your hand. He said, we make it to where it's like that, because he said that's kind of your way of window tinting, car wash. Those are not garage sales. And they make it kind of like that, he said, because that's kind of a, like, you know, I guess like drinking or doing different things. I said, so will he be able to use his wrist? He said, oh no, there will never be any more using the wrist. So the wrist, he will be stuck like this forever. He can move his hands, his fingers, he can do that. And that's all he'll be able to do with that wrist, is that. So David just started shaking his head. Because I told him, I said, we're getting out there and getting you on schedule. Well, when he heard that, the plate and not moving but just his fingers, then he started getting worried about his job. Because I asked him, I said, will he still be able to do his job? He says, I can't answer that. He'll be out of work 3 to 6 months, so it just depends on how he does. David's just sitting there, just shaking his head. He said, well, do you want a shot? He goes, yeah. He said, let me do that. He said, let me see how long I can go with getting shots and trying to put it off as long as possible. I'm like, honey, you know it's got to be done. He said, I know it's got to be done. He said, I know it's got to be done. He said, but he said, he said, I'll get over it. I know, but he said, I'll never be able to play my guitar again. I said, well, honey, you can't play it now. But he's thinking about all the things he won't be able to do. And I told him, I said, I think he'll adapt. I said, people, you know, that get amputations and then get, you know, their little prosthetic leg or arm or whatever, I said, they adapt. They learn how to do things with what they got. They figure it out. I said, I know you will figure it out. I said, you're that kind of person. You will learn how to adapt. It's not going to be ideal. It's not going to be what you used to have, but it's going to be there, and you're not going to have the pain. But he's dealing with it, and he's worried about, okay, what if I can't do my job? Because to him, working is everything. Working and providing is what he knows. That's how his daddy raised him. His daddy raised him to be a worker among workers. I don't know a harder working man. Listen, he had 3 jobs when I met him. And his self-worth is in his job, in providing for the family, in being the provider, being the worker. And so he's worried about that. He's not worried about that. At first he was worried about being out and not getting paid, you know, and I mean he'll have disabilities, but obviously it'll be a fraction of what he makes now, but I don't think he's worried about that anymore, because we started doing the frugal thing. I told him, I said, you know, we've done it on less. I'm showing him, you know, how different things just make a difference, you know, little things. And so I don't think he's worried about that. It's all these other things. And so he just, bless his heart, I just feel so bad for him, because he's just faced with, I know what he feels like. I know he won't say it, but I know he feels like he'll be crippled. And in a way that is a crippling, because it's taking away what you know. I mean, he has no range of emotion now. He can't hardly do anything with it. He hurts all the time, but he works through the pain. He just works through it, because he don't know no different. He just knows something's got to be done, so he does it. And then he just deals with the fallout of it when he comes home, and then, you know. But what I was going to tell you, so prayers and good thoughts for him, because he's taking it hard. But his threshold for pain, Holly was in elementary school, and one of the houses I cleaned houses for, because I used to clean houses, they sold us, they were moving, and they sold us their couch and love seat. Lord, we had that thing for years before it fell apart. The springs broke out in it we had that thing for years, and we did give them $100 for it, and it was maybe tailor-made. It was one of those expensive brands, and they only charged us $100 for it. So we went over there to get it, and on David's pickup, right above the window. I don't know if you call it a fairing or what you might call it, but it's just a little metal loop like that catches the rain. So instead of just hitting straight down the window, that catches the rain and runs it. Now, he was climbing on the back of the truck to pull one of those pieces of furniture in, and at that time he was wearing his work. It's like a class ring, but it's a work ring he got it for so many years service or whatever, and it looked like a men's class ring. And he was wearing that, and when he reached up, he grabbed the top of the truck for support, and that end of that fairing got up under that ring and ripped his about finger off. Well, we come home, and oh, it was a mess. I called, at that time the hospital had where you could call and talk to a nurse. I don't think they do that anymore. This was the hospital down here before it turned real big. And she says, if you can get the ring off before it swells up on there, and then they have to cut it off. So she said, get you a cup of water and try to work the ring off. So we got a cup of water, he put his hand down in it, and I started pulling his ring up. Well, the way it cut his finger was the meat, and it ripped the meat up, right? So when I'm pulling the ring up, it's bringing the meat up. He almost had a fully denuded finger. And the nurse told me, the doctor, nurse, whatever, said that's what it was. I had to kind of study up on that. That's when all the meat comes off of the bone. It's denuded. So as I pulled his ring up, I also pulled up all his meat. So he was sitting at the table, and I was pulling the ring up. I was a nervous wreck. I was crying because it was upsetting me. I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just do it. He never grunted. He never groaned. He never winced. He just said, yeah, just do it. He sat there as calm as a cucumber, and I know for a fact it hurt, because if you could have seen it, it would hurt you just looking at it. So I worked on it. He'd stick it in the water, and we worked on it some more. We sat there until we finally got that ring off. So it was considered a partially denuded finger. We went to the urgent care. Do you know what they did for it? They didn't stitch it up. They glued it. They glued it. Well, let me tell you, I mean, it was a big old scar on his finger. I mean, up, you know. And I make this stuff I call boo-boo cream with coconut oil, lavender oil, and oh, I forget the other oil. Anyway, I put that on all the boo-boos, and it works like magic. It is just magic. And we put that on his finger where it was going to be a big scar. I could sit him down in front of you and tell you, look on there and see which finger was the one. You'd never find it. You would never find it. There's not a scar to be seen. So, but that's just one story. Just one story. There are plenty of stories that he's been hurt, because he's rough. When he does stuff, he's rough. Listen, he beat his head. He was doing something with a crowbar, and it missed, and come back and just whacked him on the side of the head. And me and Holly was in the building doing something, and he come around there to us, and we started freaking out. We're like, oh my God, he's bleeding from the head. He's going to die and bleed out right here. And he's just... I hit it with the crowbar. Oh my gosh, are you seriously this chill about that? So when he says, I'm telling you all that to tell you, when he says he's in pain, the man is in pain. when he takes any kind of a pill that's not prescribed by a doctor, step up and pay attention, because he don't do pills. He's not a pill person. Let's see, is the C-band open? I might go there. Oh, I don't think they're open today. I bet they're closed up for the holiday, because they're supposed to open at 10 and there's nobody in the parking lot. Normally that parking lot is slam full. So I don't think I'm going to find me a yard sale today. I guess I'll be down here a long time before David gets here. But anyway, so that's the update on him. But what I'm going to do today, after I go down here and work in the garden, I'm going to come home and make blueberry jam. The one that went up today was cranberry sauce. It looks good. It's got a little bit of a liquid around it, but the inside is like a sauce, a jellied sauce. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. I should have tasted it, but I didn't. I just went ahead and made it, went for it. So I'll put my blueberries out to thaw while I'm gone, because like I said, I was gifted a bunch of them and I want to make some blueberry jam. And you know what? Let me just tell you, when I made my strawberry jam, I used the Certo liquid. I like that. Well, that's what I wanted to get this time. Well, you couldn't buy it, only have it shipped. So I'm like, well, did I not get it from Walmart? Did I get it from somebody else? Well, I ordered the Sure-Jell in the box, which is what I always have used. I just tried that pouch this time, and oh my gosh, I loved it. Well, I knew their directions would be different because it's a powder from the liquid. So I opened the box to see this morning how many blueberries to thaw out, and there's no paper inside. You know how you get the paper, you fold it out, you got your freezer jam on one side, you got your cooked jam and your cooked jellies on the other side. No paper. You know what it says? Go to Sure-Jell.com for recipes and tips and tricks. Then I go on my phone and it don't give me an option to print. So then I'm copying and trying to find something on my phone to paste it into so I can print it. And everything I found is something that I couldn't print. So then I just ended up putting it in an email and sending it to myself, from myself, and printing the email. It's crazy. So anyway, and also it said it makes 6 servings, but it didn't say what a serving was. Does it make 6 pint jars? I know with the amount of berries, it's got to make more than 6 half pint jars. So I'm guessing, I'm going to guess 12 half pint jars. So I'm going to see how many blueberries I got. You have to prepare your fruit and then measure it. So I'm going to do enough for 2 batches because Holly will want some. I don't know if RJ wants some or not. But Holly, she already said yes. So I'm afraid 12 jars might not be enough. I mean, when you're doing it for more than just you gotta kind of make a little more. So that's what I plan on doing when I get home. I'll film it. I'll show you what I'm doing down here. I'll show you the before and the after. Listen, I got my apron that I bought at the thrift store the other week at Wanda's. I love that thing. The top I folded down behind it and just put it around my waist. And it's got 2 pockets, so I was able to have my phone in there in case somebody called or whatever. My sweat rag. Today I'll have my knife in there to cut my rope, my string. I love that little apron. That was a good find right there. And it's sturdy. It stands up. It's not all floppy. So, anyway, that is the plan for the day. So I don't know what kind of video this is to be called. Spend the day with me. I ain't gonna do much, probably talk and listen. We'll call this chatting can. That's That's what we'll call it, chat and can. Oh my gosh. You know, we have chat and ride, we have chat and haul. We might as well have chat and can. That way, listen, like I said, you know when you look at the title or the thumbnail, you know what you're getting into. So if you get in here and you're like, well, I don't want to hear her run her mouth so much. Well, that's on you because you read my title. Chat. Oh, let's see, was there anything else I was going to tell you? I don't think there was. I ain't going to find no yard sale, so I can't show you nothing. I'm going to get it no yard sale. That kind of bums me out. But what you going to do about it? Ain't nothing you can do about it. I would like to go up to Holly's Goodwill, but you know what? That place stays so packed you can't never find a parking place. Go, please. Back when I couldn't walk, I had to park behind the building and take a good little walk around to the front. And it wasn't easy. So, but yeah, they stay busy. And it's not an easy place to get in. Oh, dead possum. So, well, I'm going to quit talking and I'll see you back for something. Here is our before. These are the 5-footers. You see how that's taking over that pole? All the way up, they're taking over the poles. So they're wanting to go higher, but they're not able to because they don't have anything. So what we're going to do is put up these 7-foot poles and add more string. And I might try to do that thing I was talking about. So I'll show you after. Here is my finished product. I hope you're seeing it good. I went along. I did not look up no video. That's why I don't look like no perfect gardener. So if you're a perfect gardener, don't judge me. I just did what it looked like they might do. I just wrapped it around and kept going in that triangle pattern. And I went along and I trained some of them long ones up. You can see the ones up top. I had to train them up because they were just all laying down. So I think now we might have something good started for our pole beans. I thought before we go up there and see David, I'd show you what all I got today. This one has been hiding. Look how big that is. That one's been hiding for a while. As have this zucchini and that zucchini and that zucchini. But you see I got plenty of patty pan squash. I got some yellow squash down in there. Got a few cucumbers. Got a few little cherry tomatoes. And yesterday I didn't think I was going to have anything today because nothing looked like it was big. But it's amazing what an overnight rain shower can do for a garden. So now I got to do something with all this. Oh, and these green tomatoes, I only picked them because I thought I saw one with blossom rot and I was going to go ahead and pick it, and it wasn't. So I picked 2 more to go with it to do fried green tomatoes. So they don't go to waste. All right, let's go over here and see what David's up to. Well, I forgot to put the camera on David, so we're going to jump right into the blueberry jam. These are my thawed out blueberries over here. I need 4 cups prepared. Prepared is mashed, chopped, whatever you want to do. Some of mine are kind of mashed as it is, just from like being frozen and thawed. But I don't have like a real tater masher, you know, the round kind. It would do a lot better than this. But this is what I have, so I'm going to make do with it. So I'm just going to do a little bit at a time until I get my 4 cups. Now we're going to do the blueberries. I have 4 cups of my mashed blueberries. I'm going to make a double batch, but when you're doing it with pectin, you only do 1 batch at a time. It can mess the ratio and it not set. Then we need to stir in a box of the powdered pectin, and I'm using Sure-Jell. Okay, Just stir that around. Okay, I think I got, make sure I don't have any lumps of that. We need to bring this up to a full rolling ball. And that says a ball that won't go down when you stir it on high heat. So that's what we're going to do first. Nope, you got to add a half a teaspoon of butter. This is supposed to help prevent foaming, but I don't know how good a job it does, because we'll probably still have to skim. So anyway, gonna let that, well, sir, come on. Gonna let that come up to the ball. Okay, the one thing I forgot to mention was it said stir constantly. But you can see I'm stirring it, and it is still balling. So now what we do is we're stirring, and we're putting in 4 cups of sugar. We've got to stir this around. See if we can get it dissolved, because this has to come back up to a full rolling ball, and then ball for exactly 1 minute. And I will set you know who as a timer, but I will do it off camera so I don't set yours off, because I know that happens. Okay, so we have to take it off the heat and then start filling our jars. So let me get those. Okay, it's going to be, I'll have to reach from back there, but I think I can do it. So I keep it up here, it's going to keep cooking. We need a 1/4 inch headspace. That's probably, well, laws have mercy, I can't see. That one. So, about right. Oh, I was looking for my... And this recipe said make 6 servings. Well, it didn't say what it considers a serving. I'm assuming, I think we might have done talked about this. I'm assuming it's 6 pints, but I'm not going to make it in pints. It might not even be 6 pints. This don't look like it's going to make as much as I thought it was going to. I'll have to double this recipe, if not triple it. You know what? 6 servings might be 6 half pints. I think that we'll be lucky to get that. Yeah, I think we will. There shouldn't be any bubbles, but we'll do it for good measure. Oh, I'm really going to have to wipe that one. Oh, and did you notice there was no foam to skim? So I guess that butter did do the trick. And we will put our lids. Oh, there's a mess all over the side. Okay, these will go water bathed for 10 minutes, however you water bath yours. And I will finish these up and see you at the end to see how many we get. Here are my 18 jars. They are popping like crazy. I just took my last batch out and they were popping before I even got it on the dish towel here. So I got 18 jars and I've already tasted it because there was just a little bit left in the middle batch that wouldn't fit in the jar. So I put it in a bowl and I had it on my leftover biscuit from breakfast. Ooh, it's good. So I am excited about this. And it used all my blueberries in the freezer down to the, I mean, it was exactly right. I can't even know how that happened. But I went ahead and thawed them all out because I knew I was going to make more. One batch only made 6. And I had exactly the right amount of berries for 3 batches. It was crazy. So anyway, there are my beautiful jars of blueberries. Blueberry jam.